Hi there. Welcome to my website today. Glad you're looking over some of the most recent postings. I want to make some comments about the BP oil spill. It was 9 years ago this month that the BP oil spill happened, caused dramatic and tremendous damage throughout the Gulf of Mexico, damaged a great number of people who made claims against BP, and British Petroleum should have paid those claims. They were very arrogant with their president, I remember at the time, off on his yacht, saying he'd kind of get to the oil spill when he could. But anyway, a lot of damage was done, and rightly, people made claims against the company. They paid out billions of dollars to compensate those who were injured, and rightly so. They did the right thing. They should have done so. Remember, though, now, this is just not all a great gratis thing for BP. They can deduct the expenses they pay out from their income taxes. So a good bit of the settlement is paid for you and I as taxpayers, and that should be kept in mind. Now, the problem is that even now there are still claims being made, and some of them are very questionable. A lot of press reports here in the recent weeks about some of these questionable claims. A lot of these people don't want to put their company name down. They don't want to be associated with making a claim, so they just give themselves a number when they make the claim. Here's number 100-139-132. That's all that was put down as a claim. Well, when you check, that happens to be a large New Orleans law firm that says they're entitled over $9 million because they lost some business over BP. When you looked at what they lost, I would think it's just the reverse. They made more money with their clients making claims against British Petroleum, but they say they have not paid out, rather they are entitled to another $9 million. That's before the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals in New Orleans right now. Some skepticism being raised, and I would not be surprised that claim was turned down because it's just way over the top. This is not some little seafood vendor who's lost all of his work because of the oil spill. It goes way beyond that. Other questionable claims have come up in the oil spill. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, that are hundreds of miles away from the spill, say, well, they lost some of their ticket holders because of BP. Couldn't show anything specifically. That was turned down and should have been turned down. But of course, everybody's greedy and out for the big bucks. They got a guy named David West that played at one time for the New Orleans Pelicans. Good basketball player. I'm sorry he left. He said that in his last year of his contract, he made less money and blamed that on British Petroleum. He wanted a big settlement. When you got into the specifics, his contract called for him to make less money. It wasn't BP. It was his own contract that he negotiated, and he was hungry for the money. Restaurants as far away as Salt Lake City saying, well, they couldn't get the normal seafood, so they wanted to be compensated from BP. Again, remember, you and I are subsidizing this because of the taxes we pay. And I don't know if that was paid out or not. It should not have been paid out. If you can't get shrimp, which are the best from the Gulf, you go out to the West Coast or the East Coast and get them, or you import them. You don't ask for a big claim from BP. How about this one? There was a bikini wax operation in New Orleans that said that because of the spill, that people going over to the Gulf South weren't going over as much to the beach. So they weren't wearing their bikinis, not getting as many bikini waxes, and they wanted a big settlement from BP. Ridiculous claims like that, one piled on the other. When the bucks are out there, people get awful greedy, and BP has paid out much more than quietly it should have. Again, deducting those payouts from their federal income taxes, so you and I have to pay the blunt of a good portion of that. It's wrong. I'm glad that BP is tightening up. The administrators, I hope, will not pay these outrageous claims. Get this thing over. It's been a long 9 years, and the sooner it's over for good, the better. And the sooner these frivolous claims are thrown out, the better. Hey, I'll see you next week.